the end. Big news for that as well. We're going to give away a Firepower racing stand and some 100% goggles as well on the show today. So really appreciate you guys listening and watching. And, we're bringing the heat with the final show with some in-studio guests that are actually racing Vegas SMX. It's really nice to be back in Vegas and all of my friends coming back into town. First up, he is from the Gizmo Mods Rock River Yamaha team. He is 20th overall in 450 SMX. Can move up and get some cash if he has a good Vegas SMX. It's Grant Harlan. What's up, buddy? How are you?
How are you doing, Steve?
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, surprise. I didn't think you'd be coming by, but it's nice to have you. And thank you for the coffee.
Of course.
That's why you're my number one dog.
Yeah, I mean, we were at the, I don't even know what store it is, some wine store.
Oh.
And I was asking Cade what you like to drink.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't sure if you even drank, but I was like, I'll ask anyway.
Oh.
And
okay.
He just said coffee, so.
Oh, like you mean booze?
Yeah.
Yeah, coffee's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots to get into today. And from Team PRMX, he's been in studio a bunch. He's a friend of the show. Cade Clason. What's up, buddy?
Hello, Steven.
Thanks for coming in.
I appreciate you having me.
I saw you on the news 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's what your mom said downstairs. She's like, didn't I just see you on TV? I was like, yes.
Yes, you were doing the local news anchor thing, promoting the Vegas SMX. You guys have done it both a lot. Has anybody ever crashed?
I actually had somebody crash last week.
Oh, you did?
He fell onto a tough block, so it's perfect.
Oh, okay. You got anybody?
I was there for that. It was pretty hilarious.
The tough block?
Yeah.
It's always the thing. When I was a mechanic, I had to do some 5 a.m. hits at stadiums also back in the day. Yeah, they dress up an anchor, helmet, whatever. Here's the clutch. Here's the gas. Right? Well,
it's nice because I have a TTR 110 that doesn't have a clutch.
Oh yeah.
So I can basically teach a 4-year-old how to ride in 5 minutes.
Yeah. All right. Well, lots to get into today in the Fly Racing Moto 60 show at Fly Racing USA on social media, and also Fly Racing. They've dropped some LE stuff. I can't show it until tomorrow, but I have some downstairs. Fly LE gear, Evo gear dropping tomorrow for the Fly Racing riders. Also, speaking of Fly Racing, RJ Hampshire out for this weekend's race as well after a crash in Dallas. So thanks to folks at Fly Racing. Pulpamex is the code to save at flyracing.com to buy something. Yeah, I really, really appreciate you guys supporting the Fly Racing guys by using that code. Be fantastic if you want to save some money. Get data, 100%, Decal Works, Vertex Pistons, Zool's, Seat Concepts, Plum Creek Funding, all on board with us as well. Maxxis Tires, of course, as well. So thanks to the folks for supporting us and use the codes to save. And all right, I think before we talk about Vegas SMX, I think the big news of the week was Cooper Webb yesterday. Chance Hymas, knee surgery, not going to be able to race the MXDN, and fucking Cooper Webb, Grant, steps up to ride a 250. I love it. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't even think it matters. It's cool.
I'm stoked for it.
Yeah.
I think I think Chance was going to do pretty well. His speed's been good all year, minus a few mistakes here and there. But having Cooper, who was really good on a 250 for 5 or 6 years and always shows up when it counts, I think that'll help us out. Even though he's not really been on a 250 for
it's been a while.
So
how long has it been? He won 2017. 2017,
yeah.
250 title. Cade?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be exciting to see how it plays out. I mean, it's cool that he's kind of taking on the role of the guy who's just going to eat roost all day long and have to pass people. But, that's what the 250 guy has to do, is be okay with that. And it's cool that he stepped up and Star stepped up and sent a bike for him. And it's going to be exciting to see.
We did a podcast yesterday, JT and I did, and basically he's kind of playing with house money. However he does, I think every motocross fan just appreciates him going and adapting to a different bike, right? He can almost, I don't think he's going to get smoked. I don't think he's going to win either, but he's really got some good PR, and he's going to leave it all out there on the track. So, in a way, it's a no-lose proposition for Coop. You guys agree?
I agree.
100%.
It's in 2 weeks, right? What's the date for that?
Yeah, 2 weeks. One weekend off, and then we're there. So
he's got to get to work.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot.
No off time at the farm.
No, not at all. By the way, taking your phone calls over there, holding things down in the corner. Super sad that it's the last one, last Moto 60 show of the year. The Tis Legendary.
Hello, sir. Glad to be here.
Delayed.
You see that passion? That passion?
Yeah, he was ready to go.
Excited.
You can't fake that passion.
Lock it in.
Yeah.
Can't fake it.
Working the cameras over there. I'm surprised that one of these two didn't try to get out of this show for the final one. The Travis Marks.
I think one of them was trying to get out of the show.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
I actually was trying legitimately,
yeah.
and it
and I
didn't
actually
work.
was sad. So
Maybe I could have answered the phones the whole time.
Oh, you could have.
I would have.
No, dude, Jagger Craig worked at
Anyone
cameras.
can do this.
Anyone can do it.
Literally anyone can do
Unbelievable.
But thanks, guys. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah,
last Fly Racing Moto 60 show of the year. By the way, thanks to folks at Decal Works and PulpMax 24 is the code to save at decalmx.com. Great graphic company, great guys, and whether it's Red Bull, KTM, or Husqvarna Off-Road, they'll have you looking and dialed pretty good. And 100% as well. Pulp 30 is the code to save with 100%. Jet Lawrence going for the championship this weekend. 100% goggles. Star Racing Yamaha. 100% goggles. Pulp 30 saves you on anything at 100%. Goggles, casual wear, mountain bike stuff, whatever it is, they'll save you money. All right. I do want to talk to you both about your SMX races, and we'll do that near the end of the show. But I got a little bit of heat on social media from some people. A couple of emails drifted in for my take on last week's race. And that was more just from me talking, sitting in the stands at the 100-degree temperature and also talking to riders and teams. But, maybe I'm off base here. Maybe it was okay, Grant.
I mean, honestly, the drier it got, the better it got.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that we had to race that dirt with how bad it was is kind of ridiculous considering, when we go there for Supercross or AT&T Stadium, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I think if they do decide to go back, they need to find better dirt.
Cade, you didn't make it into the main, but
Thanks for that.
No, but you haven't. You watched. No, but you watched. So I want to. What was going on out there?
Well, I think the first part is I think someone just made a mistake and thought the dirt was going to work and it would be okay, and they were wrong, and they're not going to make that mistake again.
Yeah.
But it was so hot. There's no way to keep water in dirt like that when it's like that. It's going to bake out. But the problem was it was chunking apart, and along with being slippery. So you hit those chunks that break apart, so then you lose traction because of that, and then you hit the slippery stuff, you don't gain traction, and you just don't know where your bike's going to go.
Yeah.
So that's why it was dangerous, right? The layout was fine.
Yeah.
The jumps.
Yeah, you put different dirt or a different time, that layout doesn't cause anybody
Exactly.
problems. Yeah.
Exactly. So the layout was actually super simple. So that was my annoyance with some people. They were blaming the layout, and it's that's not the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is you don't have traction.
Why are we there in the middle of the day? Why are we using that dirt?
Well, the daytime thing for that dirt honestly makes more sense to me, because if we tried to race that dirt at night, right? So
with a little bit of moisture?
With a little bit of moisture, they're going to have to water it during the day for practice, so it's going to be terrible all day for practice. And then the sun's going to go down, and then the moisture is going to come up, and it's going to get hard no matter what. And that dirt, when the moisture comes up, is going to get even slipperier.
Yeah.
So then you're not going to be able to see as well. It's going to be even slipperier. It probably would have been worse.
Yeah.
So I'm not against the daytime thing, but we were kind of set up for disaster no matter what with just the dirt, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's Dirtworks' fault for not working on it. They watered it all week.
Kind of Ross and Corey's fault all the time.
Definitely Corey's fault.
Definitely Corey's.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, I don't see a solution to fixing that problem without changing the dirt.
My whole thing is Charlotte kept you guys uncomfortable, and I like that. I didn't care so much about the bitching because it was some outdoor stuff, and then some speed, and then you get the rhythm, and I saw the coolness in that. I saw the uniqueness in that. I saw something super motocross. I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
And riders will always bitch. You guys will always bitch no matter what. So I do take that with a grain of salt, and I did hear bitching at Charlotte. But in my eyes, from a guy that's been going to races for a long time, I'm I don't really care that much about the bitching. Looks all right. What we got on Saturday in Dallas was to me, there was nothing special about that. There was nothing unique. It was a tamed down Atlanta Speedway track or tamed down Daytona with shitty dirt. And then the riders that are supposed to be making a bunch of money and having fun at the end of the year for something cool were fucking on the concrete and looping out and eating shit and getting carried off in an ambulance. And I'm time out. This is not what this is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. This is not cool like Charlotte. It's not unique. It's nothing. And so, yeah, I felt like my critical points last week, I stand by them. I don't know if the guys at Feld, like I said too, do you think Mewey or Prater or any Dirtworks guy, Alex or anybody walked away from that being nailed it? They know. They have to.
Yeah, they do.
Right?
But they don't have a platform to explain why it went poorly. You know what I mean? And it's not really their job. They're just trying to put on a good event. It's crazy to me. I look at Daytona. Daytona, I think that's like the one time that I'd be like, it would make sense that we have a supercross race at Daytona because it's sandy. You can make it super motocrossy. Like, that makes sense to me.
Sure.
But no, we go there during the middle of supercross season.
I mean, that's just 40 years of history.
Totally. But, like, if you look at, like, what super motocross is, like, that fits the platform the best.
Yeah.
But, like, why aren't we going to a northern – up there where the weather's a little bit better, a little more fair.
All 3 tracks are owned by the same guy. So Feld went to some guy, the International Speedway Group, and said, let's make a deal on your 3 venues. You know, like that's what they did.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely got a discount by doing all 3
for
the same guy.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
And that's probably what they did with the dirt in Texas, right? They're like, dude, we could save a whole bunch of money doing it this way.
Why cart the Arlington dirt in? We can go in the field and dig it up.
I don't think that mistake's going to happen again.
It was a miss.
It was
a miss, and I hate to see my friends laying on the concrete when they can't do a 4-foot double into a rhythm, but it's so hammered that it sends them into the tough blocks, Grant.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I crashed. I mean, I don't know if you saw the video of Craig crashing in the rhythm section.
I didn't know.
It's the same thing I did in the LCQ.
But it's like same thing Cade did.
Yeah.
I did that the lap before him, and I'm trying to pick my bike up, trying to get it started, and I'm looking over, and I just watch Craig coming in the rhythm section, just slide up the face, crash, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Cody Shaw crashed twice in 10 seconds in that same rhythm. And again, it's like, everything's fair game for fair criticism, and I think it's fair to criticize that Dallas race. I really do. It's not, being negative and whatever. It was not good.
Yeah.
And then we had some guy call that said, the Speedway ran out of water, and they were limiting 1 water bottle per person. It was warm, so they had no cold water for people. Like that's not Feld's fault. That's the Speedway's fault. But like you just throw it in the mix of just shittiness, right? Just a fucking bucket of shittiness.
Yeah.
And it sucks. And Mumphy's out for a long time, and these guys are
Well, it's one thing when the track is difficult, like they build it, say a difficult track, and we have to like pick it apart and learn it, and we have our limitations because we can't do, we don't feel comfortable doing a jump or something like that. But it's another thing to me when the track is dangerous because we straight up just can't control our bikes. Like they're trying to push the limit of speed on these speedway tracks. Like Charlotte was super fast. That track was really fast. But when the bike starts dancing around because we have to have suspension that caters to both disciplines, like there were times where like you straight up just don't know what your bike's going to do. Those guys on the tunnel, like there's nothing you can do there. Your bike unloads and it just goes away from under you.
Yeah.
There's a reason NASCAR doesn't race in the rain because they can't control the cars and it's unsafe. It's the same. Literally felt unsafe at times to try and push the limit. So I can understand why guys were upset. I'm bummed I wasn't in there making the money.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, dude, watching all these dudes just get carted off, like that's why it's hard to push the pace when you don't want to crash.
Yeah, I mean, and some people can say, hey, guys, throttle's on the right, control yourself. But you're in a race, man. It's a race. Everyone's competitive. You guys are, ultra competitive guys, like trying to go as fast as you can. Like, easy to say, hey, control yourself.
When the adrenaline's up, I mean, it's just go as fast as you can and hope for the best, basically.
Yeah.
But I feel like with that dirt, there's no throttle control. You're either like you're good.
Yeah, and then you're not.
And then you're not. Like it's just gone.
Yeah.
With no warning, no nothing.
Yeah.
So.
No, listen, it wasn't a great event. We'll move on to talking about Vegas a little bit in the series in general. But some people were on me a little bit about being so negative, and I'm like, hey man.
You were overly negative on your show.
You thought?
You guys spent a lot of time crapping on it.
Fair.
All
right, we got some questions here. Ryan's on 3 to talk to Grant about PIR. Ryan, what's up? Welcome to the Fly Race and Moto 60 show.
Hey, guys. Grant, in a Swamp Moto Live post-race guy, you said, hopefully I don't have to come back next year as far as that PIR Thursday race. Just curious where that comment was coming from, if that event is purely a money thing for you guys, or is it the risk before a national is too much? That just kind of caught me off guard. I was kind of curious where that was coming from.
Kind of a dick thing to say, huh, Ryan?
Wow.
Like the people at PIR, the good people there putting races in.
I feel like I can tell you where your answer is going to come from. It's dark.
I'm partly kidding.
Okay, most I mean, I go there to make money. It's a good money maker for me, and I actually enjoy the event. Being on the podium the last 2 years.
Yeah.
The crowd there for the podium is nuts. Like, I don't get to experience that much, racing guys like Jet Lawrence, Eli Tomac, Chase Sexton. So, to have a crowd, pop the champagne bottles, do all that is cool. I enjoy going to it. My comment was more like, I hope next year I'm making enough money or I'm doing well enough that I don't have to go to that race, because it is tough racing Thursday night and then recovering all day Friday instead of, being ready to go for Saturday.
That makes perfect sense. It really does, yeah.
Last year, I did the PIR race Thursday night, and then before Unadilla, there's one that I didn't do this year.
Yeah.
And the Saturday motos, like, I'm smoked already because I raced Thursday night.
Yeah.
So.
And it's late.
It's
late.
late.
You don't get done until really late.
Yeah, I think I got to the hotel at like 1 a.m. or something.
Yeah. And that's hard going into a national. Like, you need as much rest as you can.
There you go, Ryan. There's your answer. He hopes that he has a high-salaried, really good ride where he doesn't need to go to PIR. Right?
Not about that.
Well, no,
I mean, I would like that. I'd like that.
Saying.
But it's just more.
You're going because you need
money.
the money.
Yeah.
Ryan, if he makes more money, he doesn't have to go to PIR. So.
Makes sense.
All right. Thanks, man. Thanks for calling.
Thank you, guys.
All right, appreciate it. The 702-586 Pulp. Robert's on one. Race Tech ran. What's up, Robert?
Hey, Steve, Hard Dog, Cade. Thank you guys for taking my call. Long time, first time, so I'll just get straight into it. I've got more of a rant with kind of a question at the end. But Deegan, I've been pro Deegan this whole time because I'm almost 30. I grew up with nothing but Dungeons and Tomacs, and I'm a cynical bastard. I love to complain. I love to look at my wife and say, this guy, when he's on the podium.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Thank you for the character in the sport. This diva-ass lying to the fans antic, to me, puts him in a category that's more poor cell on the road to J-Law and not as much chicken, and I want a chicken. What do you guys think?
Chicken Matasevich, right, is what you're talking about. Yeah, look, no, a lot. Are you talking about the Motocross of Nations with Deegan?
Yes, I'm talking about them sending a Star 250
look.
Anyways, I understand Max was getting paid by GB, but they're sending a 250 from the American 250 team.
And so who's been saying for a month that if they wanted to go, the team would go? Me. And a lot of other media. I think the fans just want someone to be honest. And if it's a long season and you're burnt out and you don't want to go, just say that. But Deegs is not the first guy to say, I'd love to go, and then silently in the background be like, hey, man, I don't want to go. Hey, man, I don't want to go. These riders don't want to stand up and take the heat, from fans. They don't want to do that.
If the risk is above the reward, just tell me. I'm down.
Yep.
That's fine.
Yep. I'm with you. But it doesn't fit their image, so they don't want to say that.
Diva to me. And that reminds me of J-Law instead of
diva. It's not diva. It's just, like last year Yamaha wanted them to go to Japan, and they were like, well, we're not going. We're not making any extra money, so we're not going. And that's fine. You guys risk it. You know it. But, McGrath's turned it down. Stanton, Bradshaw, there's been a lot of racers that have turned the Motocross of Nations down over the years. It's not like
you don't get paid to go break a leg in Europe.
Grant knows that.
I was going to say, Grant Harlan went last year for Guam and basically fucked his Supercross season up for nothing. Shout out Dylan Wright. But so Grant knows. Grant, you absolutely know that race, which made you no money and cost you effort and time and preparation, fucked you.
Yeah, I mean,
say that.
Yeah,
I did it for the experience, and I mean, I'm glad I did. The experience was cool.
Was the experience cool?
Everything up until being in the hospital was great.
Yeah. Cade, go ahead. You want to say something?
I was just like, this is basically what he was saying, right? Deegan has not, in my eyes, I haven't seen it anywhere, come out and been like, hey guys, I have metal in my arm, in my wrist. I need to get it taken out. This is why I don't want to go to MX of Nations. I want to.
No, he has said that.
He's publicly said that.
Yes.
Okay, I haven't seen that, and I feel like a lot of people haven't seen that, and that's part of the reason why he catches a lot of heat. Like,
he made a whole post about it.
Yeah, Cade, you really.
I don't follow Deegan, man.
Cade clearly is not.
I don't follow Deegs, dude.
But,
well, I haven't seen it.
Like the comeback would be like, hey man, it's one extra week. You're crushing it. You're literally just destroying these guys every Saturday. So one extra week to go to Motocross of Nations to get the hardware out. As you guys know, taking out hardware isn't some sort of big recovery. It's pretty standard stuff. But yeah, I just think. But again, he is not the first rider to not want to just come out and be honest. Yeah. So don't just all blame Deegs. But yeah, it is. Coop going on a star bike is ironic. So
kind of hilarious.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
Awesome. Thank
Yeah. Thanks,
Yeah,
buddy.
love
Appreciate
the
it.
shows.
Thank you.
so much.
Appreciate it. Get our guy Dan Truman.
I just got Get.
You got Get?
I got Get.
Oh, there was some controversy with you getting Get though.
No.
Okay.
Oh, there definitely was.
There definitely was.
There was some miscommunication.
Okay, there was some miscommunication, but you've got Get.
I've got Get.
Okay.
Yeah, we're getting Get.
And Hard Dog, you're a Get guy.
Been on it for 2 years now.
Right. So please check out the folks at Get for ECUs and CDIs. And if you email us using the contact form at PulpMX, you can get a Get discount. Great stuff, especially for the two-stroke EFI bikes. The Get stuff really awakens those bikes. And then, any kind of four-stroke. The factory Honda guys using it as well. So please contact the folks at Get. Just contact me. I'll pass it on. And also Zool's Bags. ZoolsBagCode.com. Check them out. Team Triumph using them as well. Backpacks, roller bags, sporting event stuff, hauling the kids stuff around. ZoolsBagCode.com. My discount code for Zools is Pulp24 to save at ZoolsBagCode.com. We do have some other calls on here. But, okay, so single, double, triple points. I don't like it. But we do have the chance that Chase Sexton, Jet Lawrence, or Hunter Lawrence will take this thing and the $1 million that comes with it. Chase told me last weekend he doesn't care about the money. He just wants the trophy. The trophy's super cool. That's weird.
It is a cool trophy.
It is a cool trophy. But
That's bullshit.
Let's start with you, Hard Dog. Like, kind of the way we broke it down was Chase can't seem to get the starts unless everybody flinches. So let's pick a Lawrence to take this thing. What do you think?
I think it's hard to bet against Jet in the moment. Like it comes down to basically you have to win to win the championship, and I don't know if Hunter's ready for that quite yet on the 450. I feel like end of the outdoor season or like halfway after the Redbud thing, kind of when he was put in the driver's seat of like, hey, you can win this thing if you beat Chase. He kind of fell off a little bit, injuries, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested to see if he can, in the primetime moment, take over and be the guy, or I guess all reliable Jet. When it matters, he shows up. So,
Cade?
Yeah, I mean, Hunter, it's cool because I feel like Hunter's starts are better than Jet's right now.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been starting in front of him, but Jet has that ability to just take it up a notch. And it's just, I feel like when he wants to, he can do that pace as long as he needs to.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think to Chase's advantage, Chase's gate pick selection tends to frustrate me sometimes. He always tends to try to start right next to Jet. And it's like, bro, he always beats you out of the gates. You always get pinched. Go start by somebody who's a terrible starter.
Yeah, or go on the outside of him. One on the outside,
It doesn't quite make sense to me. But, obviously, a little better than I am. But I would love to pick Chase because I want to see him beat these guys because we know Jet's going to be good for a long time to come, and this whole rivalry between them is going to last forever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's hard to bet against Jet. He's damn good. He's so fast and he's consistent.
Well, you look at he comes back from the wrist injury, less than 100% and wins, right? 2-1. Then last weekend, outside of a stall, like he passed everybody, got in the lead, stalled his bike, lost the race. Second moto, way back to second. Sexton was gone.
Yeah.
Like everyone has passed everybody except no one's still passed Jet other than his stall.
Yeah.
Right?
Chase stalled his bike first moto too.
He did.
Did you notice that?
Yeah,
I didn't know
he
people
did.
saw that.
Chase stalling his bike is
not abnormal.
Pretty routine.
Yeah.
So you're Cade, you're with me. Like Chase's starts are going to hurt him.
Correct.
Probably.
That dude could not ride all week and just put motors and clutches in his bike. That's all he should be doing because that's all that's going to matter this weekend.
Yeah. No, it should be really interesting. So, Cade, you were at the Speedway this morning. What are we looking at? Same dirt as the last time the race was here.
I believe so, yeah.
Yes, that's what I was told. So how are we looking?
It looks dry. The layout
looks dry.
It looks dry. The layout looks really cool. It
okay.
winds back and forth. There's a few big jumps. There's 2 rhythm sections. They've had to make a few changes, I guess. They were doing those while I was there this morning. But then the outdoor section is really long.
Okay.
Like the track is going to be probably almost 2 minutes long.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy how big it is. So it's going to be really interesting to kind of see because there's really tight, soupy stuff with big jumps and tight rhythm sections. And then like the outdoor section has big doubles, sweeping, like switchbacks. Like it's going to be a cool layout. And the finish line section, you do like this fast, big step down into, you remember how they used to do finish line faces over the tunnel?
Yep.
We got one. We're back.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
We're back.
Okay.
So,
I like that.
Yeah. So it's gonna be.
Sounds a little bit like Mad Skills. This thing's.
I don't know if I've ever hit one of those.
Really?
I don't think so.
It's sketchy because they're so steep. And I told him this morning, I already complained. I was like, hey, man, you guys might want to make the finish line face steeper because you know how steep those stupid bridges are?
They are, yeah.
And like the new bridge, which is, of course, the one we're landing on, is way steeper than the bridge we used to have in the past because the old bridge had a steep side and a mellow side.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
And because we'd land on the mellow side, where the new one is steep on both sides.
Okay.
So it's going to be interesting.
So you like it? Like
I think the
like
track
you didn't
looks
ride
good.
it, but looking at it,
it looks fun.
Yeah,
it looks fun to ride, prepped and watered and all that jazz.
Right.
It's just seeing. I've actually haven't raced Vegas a whole lot in my career. I think I've only raced in Sam Boyd like once or twice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've gotten hurt and missed the last round a bunch of times.
Yep.
So.
And Grant, you've done Vegas?
I've only done Monster Cup in 2019.
Okay. Well, my next point was it's good to be back in Vegas. This is where the Supercross season should end, or at least make the SMX series end here. We all, it's a history in Las Vegas for a long time, since 97 or something.
I said that on the news this morning.
Yeah.
It's like iconic. And he's like, why? And I was like, I feel like you know why, bro. It's like Vegas.
Yeah. No, it is. It's like, again, Salt Lake City just – they get paid to go there to be the final round, and everyone kind of sits there and go, it's good to wrap up here. I think it's cool for the city to have it back here. I think the industry is excited about coming back to Vegas.
The day we go to Allegiant is going to be iconic.
Yeah, I think that'll happen at some point. From what I heard. So 702-586-7857. Grant Harlan here from the Gizmo Mods Rock River Yamaha team. Cade Clason as well from PRMX, and we have some more phone calls. Jimmy's on one. Jimmy wants to talk about Sexton's bike. What's up, Jimmy?
Yeah, I got a few things if that's all right.
Yeah,
Steve.
go ahead.
Well, number one, I got to be in the garage last week, and it just made it all more real being so close to these guys, and they're all gnarly. Every one of them's super nice. Chase was a little intense, but it's just crazy how.
Yeah, it's definitely like the SMX. The SMX got the folks at Feld want more access for these SMX rounds than a normal Supercross, right?
It is cool.
And fans are.
It's nice because there's so much access to the factory teams that just nobody came to our garages.
Yeah, like there was like 5 or 6 of like the pro guys.
Yeah.
Just on the other side of the stadium.
Yep.
From the factory guys.
I know when I was sitting in the press box, I was like, oh hey, look at those guys way over there.
That's us. That's where we were.
Yeah.
It kind of it sucked, but it was cool at the same time because we didn't have a billion fans trying to get Jet Lawrence's autograph in our pit.
And then, of course, 5 p.m. tomorrow, there's a podcast mashup I'll be part of with some other guys. But really, it's really on the number one feature for that, 5 to 6 p.m. What's up, Jimmy? What else?
Yeah, and I just wanted to talk about Chase and him talking about his bike. And it's just, I'm over it. The guy, every time he loses, it's not even Chase. It feels like it's everybody. They're just always, it's the bike, it's the track. Track sucked. I get it. But it's kind of beat down at this point.
I know what you're saying, Jimmy, but on the other hand, like I'd rather have Chase, and he gets pretty in depth. I mean, he got so in depth that KTM pulled the interview down that he did with Lewis after the race. But like, I'd rather have a rider be like, "Hey, here's what I'm seeing with my bike. Here's what I couldn't do. Here's what and yes, as a fan, you could be like, well, that's excuses, and you wouldn't be wrong necessarily. But I prefer to look at it like a reason, not an excuse.
Yeah, sure.
And I think it's better than a rider saying, my team and I, we got to go back to work. Or, like Chase does really lay it out there. And yes, like I said, sometimes people will be like, that's an excuse. But to me, it's a reason. And I'm interested in hearing what it is, But, Jimmy, I know what you're saying. I do understand as a media guy, like, there is a bit of this, like, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was something else. But I don't know. I like Chase's interviews, Jimmy. Grant?
Yeah,
I mean,
sorry.
Go ahead, Grant.
To add to the bike setup thing, I mean, like I talked to you after Budds Creek. I got 30th in the first moto straight up.
Yeah.
After going 11-10 at Unadilla.
Yeah.
And the only thing I changed was a shock, and it was, very small change.
Yeah.
And I genuinely couldn't ride it to my ability. Put my old shock back on, came from outside the top 30 to 14th.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just feeling super good, super spunky.
Yeah.
Like, didn't feel any different on the track to me, which I don't have as much feel as, a lot of these factory guys do because they do a lot more testing and everything like that. But, I mean, when you're at such a high level like Chase and the bike's just a little bit off, I mean, that's the difference between being fourth or being first.
Yeah. Yeah, Cade, what do you make of Chase's comments, or any rider for that matter?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, right? I want people to be open, and I think the fans have way more access to riders as far as interviews now than they ever did in the past. So, like, every week you're going to be able to basically log on, get online, and hear an interview from Chase or from these other guys where, like, back in the day you might not have gotten that. Mm-hmm. So, like, at some point we just run out of things to say. Like, hey, why did I do bad this weekend? Well, every weekend it's not my fault. You know, every weekend it's not the bike's fault. So, but yeah, sometimes you're going to you run out of things to say. So you hear them repetitively and you think that the person's just complaining about it. But it's like, dude, sometimes it's hard to figure out. And figuring out the problem is difficult. And the margin is so small. Like Grant said, like, you can make a small change and you pick up a half a second a lap. Mm-hmm. That half a second a lap puts you 6 spots further ahead in Grant's position, but like that's a lot closer to Jet when it's Chase than it is, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure, Jimmy.
Yeah,
you want
I like your guys.
You want to You want a firepower stand or a pair of 100% goggles?
I'll take a pair of 100% goggles.
All right, sweet. Thanks for calling. Stay on hold. All right. Oh, what?
What do you guys think is going on with my guy Levi?
Levi.
Yeah.
Yeah, hasn't. He's been okay. He's led some. He led in Charlotte, right? Wasn't he second for a while in Dallas? I think he's been a little underwhelming for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but when he gets the lead, he's supposed to win. You know.
I know, but dude, I bet you. I wouldn't know. I haven't talked to Levi. I bet you he's like, dude. Yeah, I bet you he's like, dude. I just did a whole outdoor season. I did a whole Supercross season, and I'm tired.
I don't think a lot of people understand how hard it is to adapt. Like a lot of guys, especially me, like I'm very specific. Like I'm way better on a Supercross track than I am on an outdoor track. And they're trying to mesh these two things together, and like they're super high speed, and I'm not comfy on super high speed tracks. And it could be a little bit of that with these other guys too, right? Like Deegan is obviously perfectly okay hanging it out, going as fast as he possibly can. And maybe these other guys aren't as comfortable doing that, so they're struggling to find that edge that he's comfortable riding.
Yeah.
So they look like they're doing terrible, but in reality, these guys just aren't willing to risk it quite as much.
All right, thanks for the call, man. We got Josh on 2. What's up, Josh?
Hello. My question is about AP and the nations. First of all, I was wondering, do we know anything yet? Like, how his MRI went?
I don't. He had an MRI on Tuesday, I believe. It must be okay because they had to talk about Hymus. So it must be something that they can like shoot him up with, and he's gonna be okay. Like no permanent damage, So yeah.
I just feel like so with Star jumping on kind of last minute, I know you guys have said a bunch of times the bikes are shipped and everything like that. But is there like a cutoff date to a certain point where they can say like, hey, Eli, I know you bowed out because of AP, but, he's not doing so well or whatever, and would you be willing to go still?
I think we're past that point now. I think if anything happened, you'd see an Austrian guy get on a 450 that they build over there, If say the shoulder was bad, or
like you're saying RJ or one of those guys,
like
Barsha
some 450 guy to be like, hey, we'll put your suspension and build you a bike in Austria and bring it to England because it's probably getting late for that.
I mean, when you air freight it, like when does it actually have to leave? I've never done that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
well, yeah, and
I know Team USA was working hard yesterday to get this 250 out, like ASAP.
Gotcha.
So,
gotcha. Okay, and then I have another question about Eli real quick is obviously his Supercross season was good, but kind of underwhelming from like old Eli, and there was always a question like, did he have anything for Jet? And then obviously now that he's had some time back after his other injury, it seems like he's definitely much more in the mix. At Charlotte, it was kind of obvious that he got to start, led the first one, but on the second one, while he was leading towards the end, it looked like you could just kind of see that, when Jet passed him with those scrubs and things like that, it was he did have obviously a little bit more than Eli did. So my question is, do you think with this off season and Eli maybe going crazy with his training and kind of knowing now what his match is with Jet, do you think it's possible that we see a much more Jet compatible Eli next year?
Grant?
I think he'll be better this coming Supercross season. You have to think Anaheim 1 was his first race back after the Achilles tear.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think there was a little bit of it in his mind throughout the season. And I think for the most part, he was building for most of it. And I think we would have seen a really good Eli come outdoors. But I think for next year, he's going to be better than this year.
He's going to be better.
We can all hope, right?
Yeah. Listen, I'm the opposite. Time stands still for nobody, and you miss time in this sport, you fall off the treadmill. You get older, you get hurt. Shit, Eli's championship year on Star 450, he wasn't jumping everything anymore. He was playing it safe, playing the long game. Then he did his Achilles. Wait, yeah, he won a championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
He won a
22.
championship on Star?
22.
On Star? Yeah.
Didn't he win 22 on Star?
I don't know, man. And then he hurt his Achilles. He was going to go back to back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he won on the old bike and then won outdoors.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, my point being is these things are blending together for me. Point being is like you get older, you miss time, and Jet is the future. So, no, I don't. I think you see more of what you saw this year where once in a while he'll reach back and the old Eli Tomac will be balls out. But, I don't think he gets as good as he was 2 years ago. No, I do not. So we'll see, though. Thanks for the call, man.
We can at least hope it'll be closer, right?
Sure.
More rides like we saw the last 2 weeks, for sure.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
It's been fun to watch. Yep, thanks.
Yep, thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Here we go. Ezra's on 5. What's up, Ezra?
Hey, I just had a quick question for Cade, Grant, and yourself. I was just wondering if Cade and Grant could go back to any MX of Nations for like nostalgic track wise, like which one they would go to. And for you, Steve, which one would you like to relive?
What's the one where they won with Travis was jumping way down the hill?
Yeah, that's Ernay.
Yeah, I want to go there. Yeah.
I absolutely would not want to go back to that track ever.
I don't know.
Ever
Looks
again.
cool. Looks cool.
For me, I don't know, man. I think Unadilla 87 was a mutter. It was a complete mutter. But being in the USA for the first time with Bob Hanna and all those guys, that would be pretty cool to go to.
I regret not getting to go to Bud's Creek as a fan,
yeah,
obviously.
You go to Bud's, yeah.
I didn't get to,
right. Yeah. All right,
That'd
man.
be sick.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Cool, thank you.
All right, Brandon's on 3. What's up, Brandon?
Yeah, I got a couple things. I know we're trying to look forward to Las Vegas here, but
yeah, Vegas SMX, bro.
Yeah, Vegas SMX. Good to have it back on Vegas back on the tour. But looking back to last week, I've been to a lot of Supercross and motocross races in the past, but that was my first SMX race. And I think it had some really good features to it just for SMX as a whole with fan experience. But overall, that was just not a great round. I mean, the heat, the water, the track, guys getting hurt, carted off. It wasn't great.
All right. What's the question, man?
And then I know you took some heat. You said earlier in the week that you were calling it Dallas Supercross.
Yeah.
Or Dallas.
Yeah, these kooks. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on, guys. It's fine.
Yeah, settle down.
But
it's the Dallas Cowboys. They play in Arlington.
Right.
It's Dallas Cowboys.
It's DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth. Same thing.
It is in Fort Worth. I get it. Fort Worth, I think, is like the 12th largest city in the U.S. But, I mean, DFW, whatever you want to say. But my original question is, a few years ago I called and I had a great idea about doing 2 different coasts for the 250 class, one for, rookies to 3 years or whatever, and then
I like that. Was that you? I like that idea. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that was my idea, and I've got a new idea. I don't know how you're going to feel about this one, though.
Okay.
And I definitely don't know how the 2 guys sitting in the chair across from me are going to feel about it, but I think it's time for 450 Supercross to truly be premier. I think we need to do away with some of the lesser talent riders in the 450 class.
Like Cade?
Yes.
Oh.
Nothing against Cade.
Wow.
Grant personally.
Oh.
But I think I think to move up to the 450 class in Supercross, you need to, at the very least, in 250s, have been on the podium or a top 5 guy before you can move up, if we really want to call it the premier class of the sport. I mean, you really think Grant Harlan or Cade there is better than Levi or Deegan or any of
the problem is you're going to run out of guys.
Hey, yeah. I have a top 5 in 250 Supercross, so.
All right, then you're good to go.
Okay, you're good.
I'm good.
Sweet, congrats.
Sorry, Cade.
I have a top 10 in the 450 class.
I know what you're saying, Brandon, but like Cade said, you're going to run out of guys. So I mean, there is qualifying, right? So, but you sound like you want to get rid of qualifying and just have like an elite 22, like F1 or whatever, like something like that.
In a way, I mean, it would be more like what we do for Triple Crowns. Like if you make the Fast 18, or we could even just do away with the LCQs. Not that many people would probably want to do away with LCQs. I'm not even on that boat. But, if you qualify in for the night show, then great. If not, then it's see you next week.
Okay.
That's a horrible idea.
Yeah, I'm not so sure I like that either. And honestly, there's a thing up on pulpmx.com. MX Reference did it for us. That generally speaking, there's about 3 or 4 guys that finish every race every year. So now, how are you going to fill these injury spots? If Cade is sitting at home in Ohio and can't go racing because he's shitty, then there's injuries, and we got to call Cade up. He hasn't been practicing, hasn't been racing. Like we're calling Cade to fill in a spot. Like that's not going to work.
They're just going to be further off.
Yeah.
Every year for both coasts, if you get a guy who finishes, let's just say the cutoff is top 5, you make a top 5, you're not eligible to race 450 class. So we continue to have guys move up.
And we'll have guys taking dives. Then we'll have J-Mart like back at the airport leaving. Like that won't work either. Like because people want to win, right? So people, you'll take dives in the 250. This is horrible, Brandon. I don't like any of this. Your 250 coast idea was great. It was fantastic. I don't like any of this though.
Okay.
All right.
I just thought I'd throw it out there. I know guys have talked about SMX maybe combining, the top 10 or whatever you want to do for 250.
For SMX, that's not a terrible idea. But for the whole year, it just
Lewis had a good idea. He said, so the only one
That's
class.
what he's saying, yeah.
Yeah, one class at SMX. You win a 250 Moto, overall, or Supercross main. You're in the main class. And then you fill in the rest of the 450s, however many you need. And then you can ride your 250 or 450 if you're a 250 guy.
Okay, Steve, how does that work with the privateers in the 450 class that are trying to get in?
You're out.
We're out?
Yeah, you're out. Unless there's spots open, then we count the seeding points.
I might as well go get a job.
It's just 3 rounds. You just don't make the 3 rounds, Grant.
It's just like before. What difference does it make?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of money to be made at these
I understand
rounds.
that, but I'm just saying. Yeah. It's not a terrible idea.
No, it's not. Thanks,
Brandon. From a fan perspective,
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Dumbest calls ever on this show. Oh, stop it. It wasn't the dumbest call ever. Marks, that was you.
You can't prove that.
You're a dick.
It wasn't me.
All right. Hunter's got a question about Suzuki. Hunter.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
It's not Hunter Lawrence, is it?
Thank y'all for taking my question. Just a quick question. Would y'all place money on Suzuki stop making dirt bikes before coming out with a,
yes,
I guess you could say, like competitive bike?
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, the bike's not competitive.
No, I know, but I would put they don't put it in shootouts. They don't even send it out to shootouts. They don't care.
Yeah.
So I would put more money on them stop making them because they clearly aren't pushing them to sell them anymore.
Well, the problem is I feel like part of the reason they don't need to update it is because Kenny's still doing pretty good on the bike that's old as hell, and they're like, oh, I mean, he's there. Like,
how long until the molds run out? Because the molds get bad after a while, right? So how many molds of these cases, let's say, that they have in Japan that they're going to need new molds, and they're like, fuck it, we're not buying new molds.
I mean, maybe then they'll update the bike.
Yeah,
maybe they're just waiting on that.
I feel like they'd fold it before then, but
probably.
Yeah.
Do you think they'd ever go back to collaborating like how they did with like Kawasaki back in those early 4-stroke days to maybe like?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that really worked. But because you seem, Hunter, to be the most interested guy in Suzuki that I've heard in a long time, we're gonna give you a pair of goggles or a firepower stand.
Let's go. I'll take the firepower stand.
All right, stay on hold. All right, thanks, man. Thanks for your talk. Appreciate it.
The other guy took the goggles.
Yeah.
The other guy never got. He hung up. So, Drew, what's up? You got a question about suspension?
Hey, yeah. What's up, Steve? Man, I met you at Salt Lake with a buddy of mine, is a friend of yours too. The Bro Show.
Oh yeah, Bro Show. Yeah,
love
Bro Show.
Rig. So my question is, factory riders have a lot of suspension available to them. It's a privateer, knowing you have 3 different tracks, 3 different dirt types, maybe limited on things that you can bring or have available to you. So how do you prep for 3 races, suspension wise, with limited stuff?
You don't.
Absolutely not.
Here's how mine has gone. Basically, I got a set of suspension, like a hybrid set of suspension, about a week, not even a week and a half before Charlotte, because I thought I was going to get in. I got called to race Charlotte 1 week before Charlotte, and just the amount of time it takes to send stuff back and forth to get testing and the amount of money it costs. I've rode the same set of suspension with clicker changes, and that's basically all I have at my disposal. And most of these privateer teams that are able to do this, that's basically what I'm assuming they're stuck with. Grant might have 2 sets, but I'm riding 1.
Did you listen to my post-race interviews with Coop? He had a motocross shock, supercross forks, a motocross chassis setup.
I wish last weekend.
I was like, huh?
I wish last weekend I had Mitchell's motocross stuff.
Mitchell
Harrison's.
Yeah.
From
Right.
on my bike as a roller, so I could fly back and forth. And I wish I would have rode a practice with it just to see what it was like.
See how it does.
And I regret not doing that, but that's on me.
Yeah. So Drew, basically, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So like Vegas seems like it's going to kind of be like a Texas, because I'm actually not too far. I live actually kind of by Davie, by Lake Havasu, so I'm not too far from Vegas. So Vegas is like my second home. So it's dry as shit out here. So are you guys preparing more like a kind of like a Texas, like a dry, more supercrossy track?
I told Steve when I got here, he's like, asked me how it was, and I was like, I feel like coming to Vegas, we kind of know what to expect. Like, it's going to be dry, it's going to be hard, it's not going to be great dirt. I think going into Texas, like, we all had hope for it to be like really good. So I think that's kind of why it was such a letdown. But I think coming here, like, we're more or less prepared to ride something a little bit more hard, right, Grant?
Yeah, I feel like the Vegas hard pack is a little bit more consistent, where the Texas was, like, the dirt was super gumbo-y, so it broke apart, where here it stays together, but it's hard.
It's hard, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call, man. Yeah, thank you.
Hey, I appreciate you. Hey, Steve, real quick. Living in Vegas, you live in the best city of the best NHL team, the Golden Knights.
That's false.
I like this guy. Give this guy something.
Come on.
Give him
That's
something.
false. I got nothing to give you. The Maple Leafs are going to do it this year. So.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, thanks.
All right, I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
I will not take Maple Leaf slander on this show.
There was no Maple Leafs.
Dale, what's up, man?
Hey, my brother won the bike for outdoors, and
Nice.
we got to do something because he's just way too lucky. He doesn't listen to your show. He looks at qualifying. He made picks before he went on a cruise. Made picks on an airplane.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
No,
It's
listen,
ridiculous.
that's sometimes the best way to do it, man. Like, stop listening to us experts. Stop listening to the guys that like go to the races and are racing, right?
Yep. He gladly took some money from one of your co-hosts on the fantasy show, though.
I think I know who that would be. Yeah, I got one of our guys has a gambling problem. So he won the 450. That's awesome. That's cool. Great.
He did.
Yeah.
He's gonna keep it. He doesn't do social media, but I'll make sure you guys get some stuff on
Yeah,
it.
send me something, tag me on it so we can repost. That'd be fantastic. That's awesome. Yeah, and it does not pay to listen to the Fantasy Pod. Nope.
It definitely pays to not listen.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.
That's a great way to sell the show to sponsors.
100%.
Chris is on 5. What's up, Chris?
Hey, I wanted to know if Unadilla would be considered as a Motocross the Nations track one year.
No, I don't think so. Parking, airports,
shipping.
Yeah, no, I don't think so, man.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Thanks.
see ya. By the way, I want to thank the folks at Vertex Pistons. Vertex, they manufacture in Italy. The cast and forged pistons are the premier choices for power and performance. Vertex is an industry leader in manufacturing high-performance gaskets as well. And dirt bikes, UTVs, ATVs, and more. Vertex Pistons, an all-balls racing group company. Plum Creek Funding, too. If you're looking to purchase a home in 2024, the rates are better now. If you're a first-time buyer or investor, if you have a vacation home like Grant Harlan, Plum Creek Funding has programs that suit your needs. Discount code, hashtag high ceilings. Zach at plumcreekfunding.com, Z-A-C-H. So please check out Zach. He's done a lot of work for people in the industry, and he's done good work. So plumcreekfunding.com. On board with us, and 702-586-7857. We never got Tits, the guy with the goggles. Never.
That is correct.
All right, so should we give him give a pair away, or what do we do?
You're the boss, man.
Okay. Right. Still got some phone calls here to do it. 250 SMX. We talked about 450 title. 250 SMX. Dude, what if Deegs, and I brought this up on my show, on the review show, like he has been by far the best guy. But if he has a bike problem or a crash, triple points, he'll lose the title.
I mean, to be fair, though, if it was normal points, he would only be up by like 12. So if
he'd still lose.
12 is more than 36, less than 36.
But like what I'm saying is like it's like the same margins. You know, the margins don't change.
But the fact that you could, if you have a 12-point lead and there's only 3 points difference, opposed to 9 points difference, it's 9 points difference now between first and second.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is between round 1 and round 2, like the margins between the gaps don't change. So,
well, sure they do.
No, do you get what I'm saying?
I got you.
You're picking. Can you help me?
Like the ratio is the same.
The ratio yes. Okay.
It scales linearly. The points versus the gap.
Yeah. So no matter what place he gets, right? Like it's still like it's only like a 1 or 2 place difference on if something goes sideways.
That could be enough, though.
I understand that.
Yeah, that could be enough for him to lose the title if something goes wrong.
I don't hate the idea.
I think he's probably going to be okay.
He's pretty great.
It's pretty great. I don't foresee a crash or a bike problem.
Yeah, but crashes happen instantly. And I mean, you saw him wheeling over the tough blocks last week. Like,
yeah, he's on the edge.
The edge, like why?
For no reason.
Yeah.
Like he's so much better than everybody right now in his class.
No, it's impressive for sure. I guess Juju would be the guy to kind of surprising us through 2 rounds.
Oh, for sure.
He's been good.
Yeah, Juju second in the first one. I think he got 5th in Dallas. Good job for Juju. Like if he can keep this momentum and keep it going, right?
But like I said, this track is going to be really interesting, and it plays to both sides. And Deegan's the guy that's been able to adapt his bike to figure out these tracks. I think he's going to be even better this weekend than he has been the last 2. Like if he was 2 seconds better the last rounds, he's going to be like
4 seconds better.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. It definitely, this track, well, from just your description of it, sounds like it's going to reward creativity.
Yes.
You know, and he's pretty good at that. So
it is fun to watch him ride. Like that's the best part. Is like, it's not like he runs his mouth and then he's just like a little bit better. Like he runs his mouth and then it's like super fun to watch because he's freaking great.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys were paying too much attention to him in Dallas, but like I feel like for a majority of both motos, like over the jumps and like you said, he was wheeling over the tough blocks. Like
he tried that double in the second moto.
I wouldn't call it showboating, but it almost looked like he's out front showboating.
He's bored.
Yeah,
he's bored. I think.
Yeah,
he's trying to piece things. He tried to do that double before the mechanics area.
You know who did it first was Ty.
Oh, okay.
In the first moto, I saw him do it, and then the rut blew out and he couldn't do it, and then I saw Deeks try it once for sure, but
double.
Yeah, like before the sand, they added that new roller, so it's the big roller and then the inside one. They were trying to double that.
And,
wow.
Deeks cased it, but like whatever.
But Ty iced it first moto. It was
he did?
sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I would have liked to have seen that.
It was cool.
When I watched
I noticed because I was in the stands.
I thought about it on track walk.
So
and
did I.
On the track, I was really struggling to get around the turns.
That turn was so
let's just worry about it. So, Grant, you are obviously we talked to you a bunch over the year, but terrible Supercross season, a nice outdoor season. Are you back to where you want to be?
I'm ready for a break.
Yeah.
I kind of did the same thing as last year, where middle of outdoors, I kind of started to get to my like not my ceiling, but like as high as I could go for a season.
Mm-hmm.
And then towards the end, I feel like I've kind of fallen back into that end of season slump because I only missed I think 7 Supercrosses, so I've still kind of done most of the traveling, and even though I only raced 4 main events or 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
I've still done the season, and I'm definitely worn down considering my fitness not even close to last year.
Yeah.
So I'm ready for a break, but we are definitely better now than we were in Supercross.
You're 20th right now. You got a shot at 18th, 17th with a good Vegas.
I mean, with triple points, a good result.
Oh, it ain't gonna happen. You could win the damn thing.
No.
What is the payout for 20th?
28, I think.
27, 28.
$28,000. Yeah. So, and then it jumps up by 2 or 3 each one.
No, it's like $1,000 until.
There's a big jump in there somewhere, right?
It's like a 12th to 10th, I think, is the big jump.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's the one Phil missed out on last year. He's very, very angry about.
Yeah.
Okay. So so you happy with your 2 rounds? Whatever. I mean, Dallas didn't go well, but like, happy to collect that money, I guess, right?
Yeah. I mean, we're not out of it quite yet. Still have to, do the work Saturday. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, 22nd is 25K. It's the last spot.
So my wife, who doesn't pay attention to racing really at all,
okay,
she didn't know about the payout, and someone told her at Charlotte, and suddenly she's like, "You need to go faster.
Oh,
like, you need to do better."
Yeah.
I hear it. Yeah, there's no reason.
You're like,
I'm
thanks.
surprised that they're friends, right? Because
no, it makes complete sense.
It's like she's like, "Did you know what the payout was?" And I was like, "Yes, honey, I know what it is. Thank you."
That's why I'm here.
And for Cade, in LCQ for first true, you're basically getting the same as a high position in a 450 LCQ, right?
Right around there. It's
Yep.
not great. I'm more or less banking on trying to get into the motos, where the payout is much better. And then, like, if I could get in this weekend and do good, there's a chance I could get 22nd in points, right?
Yep.
So it's a goal. The hard part is, man, like, you look at, like, our class is healthy, right? There's only going to be two spots available this weekend.
Yeah, and I think with RJ out, everyone's going to make the 250. Everyone through the LCQ is going to make it in.
Yep.
Either one or two guys might not get in.
Depending on if more guys show up, because there's supposed to be 10, but, like, now that we're on the West Coast.
It's true. A-Rod just showed up out of nowhere.
But
so did Sanford.
Yeah.
Sanford was at the first one.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
But, like, you look at who's in this LCQ, right? And there's only, like, last weekend, there was 8 of us on the LCQ. So, like, it doesn't matter where Dean or Nichols start. Like, they can get to the front because they're freaking fast. Like, they're
7th, the worst case scenario. They're 7th.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they can pick their way to the front. They're past champions. Like, yes, I'm good at riding a dirt bike, but at the same time, like, I'm racing. Shut up. Like, it's hard to beat guys that are past champions. And this weekend, like, we're going to have Little Hill back. So there's going to be 3 past champions in the LCQ, and they might only take 2. So
do we know why he didn't race last weekend?
He got a concussion, I think, during the week.
Gotcha.
So
just send it, Cade.
Just twist the throttle, man.
Yeah,
it's
man.
not that hard.
The throttle's on the right.
Throttle's on the right.
702-586-7857. Got a few more questions before we end the Fly Racing Moto 60 show. We got Keel McStovepipe on 3. What's up, Keel?
Hey guys, my question is, I'm sure you guys saw the leak. Well, I don't even know how accurate it is, but the leaked Supercross schedule. I didn't know if you saw it or.
Steve can't comment on that.
No, why? I can't comment on it.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
No, that is it. That's it. That's the real schedule.
Really?
Yeah. Daytona's not on there, but Daytona will be like somewhere in that first week of March or something.
Well, I thought. Well, I saw the same thing, and I didn't know if they were going to make that an FMX.
No. Yeah, I know. It's not listed on that because it's not a Feld event per se, you know. But that's the real schedule I've been told.
Holy shit! Yeah, wow, that's awesome. I just saw the races and whatnot, so I'm going to try to hit at least 2 of them.
Yeah, we're going to New York, Boston, and Pittsburgh and Philly. Well, Pittsburgh's inland, but Philly. We're basically hitting Philly, New York, and Boston are all within, 4 hours of each other drive, right?
So it's a cool schedule.
Too many open-air stadiums for me.
I mean, I'm with you.
Open air in rainy cities.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, I hear you, but what are you going to do, right?
Not go there?
Nah.
Okay, thanks for the call, man.
All right, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Show. See
you
ya.
too. Thank you. I said you too. You don't have a show. Christian, what's up, man?
Hey guys. So opinion question kind of here. So it's kind of the first time that Jet and Hunter have really gone like head to head. Maybe in another time, I'm not really sure of. In a winner take all type situation. How do you think they're going to play it with each other when they both get the start, or if they get the start? And what are their conversations coming into this race like?
Well, I think they had those shootouts that they were doing, right?
True, yeah. The
East-West shootouts, yeah. Like,
East-West.
That doesn't.
But it's not the same.
It's not the same. This is a lot on the line. I've been thinking about that too. Like, it's got to be a little bit of a weird feeling. Like, I don't think Jet's going to put his brother on the ground hard, or like the other way around.
Either way, yeah.
But it's definitely it would be an awkward scenario. Like, that half the family has to be excited for one person while bummed for the other. But I think whoever wins, the other one's still going to be on the podium for the photos. Like, they're going to be there together no matter what.
Yeah. Grant, you got a thought about that? Or
I mean, don't they share the same like bank account where all the money goes in together?
I don't know.
I don't know if they're going to be too upset if either.
Is that true?
I think
it was at one point.
Yeah,
I mean
now that's cool.
I mean they work together like basically everything from
That's
what
really
I
cool.
know. So I think either way, obviously there's going to be bragging rights.
Yeah.
And a stat for the.
All right. I'm with you, too, though. I like Jet to take it. Just total package, just everything about it, right? So, all right. Hey, Christian, you want a pair of goggles?
Sure.
All right. Stay on hold, man. 100% goggles. Coming right to you. All right. Pulp 30s, the code to save at 100%. And I want to thank the folks at Seat Concepts as well, saving assets since 2009. On-road or off-road, Seat Concepts has got you covered. Pulp Mix 24 is the code to save. They make proprietary foam formulations over there. And, they can definitely make your seats wider, longer, high, whatever you need. Seatconcepts.com. You know who uses Seat Concepts?
No.
Benny.
Wow.
Yeah. Think about Benny and how tall he is. Seat Concepts makes that work.
Good for him.
Nobody knows how that happens. Cade, for you, PRMX next year?
Yes, sir.
Is that lock it down?
I'm locked in, dude.
Locked in.
Locked in.
Okay. Grant, locked in?
Not locked in yet, but
looking like
gonna be my teammate.
Looking
Soccer
like
Jules.
looking like Gizmo Mods, Rock River, FXR for you again.
Yeah.
Like same program.
Yeah.
What number are you going to be? Ish.
40s, like 42, 43, something like
Bro,
that.
you want to know what's crazy?
What are you? What are you gonna be?
I scored half as many points. I'm gonna be a lower number.
How does that work?
Make that make sense?
Then last year?
Yep. I'm gonna be like 78 again.
Ooh, I didn't like that on you.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? I crushed it that year. That was the Honda year, where my bike kept shutting off.
And we also.
So what number are you going to be?
I think 78.
78.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm all right with that.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be fantastic. I think a national number is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Any number.
Exactly.
Even 99. Shout out to Jet Reynolds.
A lot of dudes lost their numbers this year. That's part of the problem.
And last year too.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I got 23. So.
You're pretty legit though.
You were all right.
I mean, I was talking to Thrasher, giving him a hard time because I think the year before, like in 22, he scored double my points and only got like 40 something.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next year I got 23 with like half the points.
Yeah. All right. Vegas SMX. I always ask the guests on here the winners. So Jet, Lawrence, and Deegan. Like.
You want to take Jet and I'll take Chase?
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. And then Deegs?
Deegs. Stop it.
Oh, come on.
Stop it right now.
Hard dog.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Deegs. Sweep.
Also, too, our privateer chat that we are in.
Oh, that's next level.
I have a guy who wants in. So should we make a vote on it, or I'll tell you after the show? But like, do we do a vote on it, or
is it
how
somebody?
Do, we do, this?
Do I like this person? It's still
I
my
don't know
chat.
who you. Oh, my chat.
I started this
it's
chat.
Mathis Island.
It's because we make fun of him the most.
It's my chat.
It's my chat. I started it.
Can we say it on air? Who it is?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll take a vote, or how do we do? And do they have to? What if they're not a privateer? What if they're an industry person?
Oh.
It's a privateer group chat, Steve.
Benny Bloss is in it, and he's factory.
Yeah,
Alex Ray doesn't race anymore.
At this point, Corey and Ross and Mathis are in it. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean they're private. They're for the
You know
privateers.
what's funny is
doesn't seem like it.
One of the AMA guys came up to me and they're like, "Hey, you need to get Corey out of that chat. He's gonna get somebody in trouble." I was laughing so hard, dude. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'll make a vote or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't believe Cade came in with "It's my chat."
Did I not bring this?
Well, whatever, dude.
You did.
I have I kicked A-Ray out. I am the orchestrator of this chat.
He's in it. He
is
in
now.
it.
But remember, we suspended him because he sent photos to that thing. Yeah, exactly.
Idiot. All right. Fly Racing Moto 60 show. Get 100% Decal Works, Vertex Pistons, Seat Concepts, Zools, Plum Creek Funding, all on board with us. Maxxis Tires too. Oh, I forgot about the Maxxis read.
I was looking at your hat and I'm like, dude, isn't this show sponsored by Maxxis?
Yeah, Maxxis.
That is my tire.
That's
of
your
choice.
tire. Maxxis.
It's my tire.
How's it going, Maxxis?
It's good, dude. I'm about to film some like ads that are going to go in the dealerships and stuff.
Oh, nice.
I'm pretty excited about it.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm working on a video to do like a mountain bike, dirt bike collab. With somebody who's pretty legit, so I'm excited about that. I love my tires.
Maxxis.com.
Maxxis.com.
Imagine how good Grant would do if he had Maxxis on.
Dude, they just glue to the ground.
It'd be 10 to 12 spots better.
Just not last weekend.
I don't know. I don't know if
anybody.
Do they have road race tires?
They do. Truck tires.
I mean, you should have thrown a pair on last weekend. Might have been good.
Maybe it would have been better.
Might have been good.
Might have been good.
Well, thanks for coming by. Thanks for ending the final Fly Racing Moto 60 show with a bang with two in-studio rider guests. That's big news for us here. So,
I mean, it doesn't get better than me and Cade.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Anyways, thanks for the coffee. Thanks for the coffee.
Yeah.
Of course.
Really appreciate that. Thanks for the flowers.
I couldn't believe how fast Pookie texted me back. I was like, isn't she at work?
Yeah. Yeah, she just watches YouTube. That's all she does. Tits.
5 minutes.
We'll see you Thursday before Anaheim 1, buddy.
Okay.
I really don't care.
Okay.
We'll see you in 4 months.
I meant on Thursdays.
Yeah. Well, I'll see you in 4 months.
Yeah. Marks, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Yeah, great work, Tits.
Yeah,
all right, buddy.
Do we get an MX bike segment?
We should just start our own.
Yeah, we'll just do that.
Okay.
The nerds and the dorks are going to start a video game dirt bike racing podcast, so stay tuned, everybody, for that. But no, thank you guys for coming in. Really appreciate it. Good luck this weekend. I'll see you there. Fly Racing Moto 60 Show. Thanks, everybody, for calling all year long. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the sponsors for the prizes. Always appreciate it. We'll see you before Anaheim 1. It's like second week of January now. All right. I'm Steve Mathis, Cade Clason, Grant Harlan. We're out of here. Thanks for listening.